The Chumoukedima district administration has reacted sharply to the several explanations given by the National Highway and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited following the July 4th rock slide that claimed 2 lives and injured 3 others. A press release from the administration received here said the administration had conducted a joint survey in the month of March and was not satisfied by the safety measures undertaken by the NHIDCL. The administration had also requested the NHIDCL to submit technical details but was allegedly denied the information. The administration also said that unlike claims, there were no slope protection mechanisms at the location of the accident. The administration said that the reason for the traffic jam could well be due to a heavy mudfall at another location which was unattended for long, and as a result the commuters diverted to the other land, which caused a standstill for the traffic. The administration stated further that machinery was mobilized within 15 minutes. However, no machine was found at kilometers 124.500 as late as 18:59 hours on July 4th, and none was there till about 9 a.m. the next day, that is July 5th. The administration stated that the claims made in the press release might not be accurate. It becomes particularly important as false information at this time may prove misleading, may hide the truth, and malafide too cannot be ruled out. And now to talk a little bit on this fiasco where the NHIDCL and the Nagaland state government have started a kind of a blame game against each other, and also the repercussions of what national highways have on the public that actually travel every day between Dimapur to Kohima. So what are the repercussions? And to speak more on this, we've got our associate editor Al Ngule, and we'll be speaking more on this particular incident. So thank you for joining me on this special newsroom. Starting off the conversation, I mean, sir, the July 4th incident has started basically like a blame game between 2 government institutions. One is the NHIDCL and also the government of Nagaland. So I mean, sir, with all this that is happening, do the reaction from the district administration an indication that a game of blaming has started and the facts are in question, sir?
Yeah, definitely, Akivi. If you go through the statement that was released by the Deputy Commissioner of Chumoukedima, you will see that in all the paragraphs, the district administration has explained why some of the statements that the corporation has given out do not match with the groundwork there at the site of the accident, Akivi. In fact, the district administration has said at every line of the paragraph that were written in the statement, this is inaccurate, this is not true, we were there, we have seen this infrastructure, so this might be investigated, this should be rechecked. So what is going on right now is that, of course, I do not blame the Chumoukedima administration in a sense that the onus was put on the administration, but the highway is maintained by the corporation Akivi. So I think it is fair on the part of the administration to react to what the corporation is claiming. For instance, what the district administration said was that all the facts that was given out by the NHIDCL should be rechecked, and in fact these claims need to be investigated. And of course the administration did not make a very direct demand in regard to whether the authorities should investigate these claims, but the administration is very sure that the claims made by the corporation is definitely not in corroboration of what is being seen at the site of the accident, and of course the entire stretch of the Dimapur and Kohima highway, Akivi.
All right, so I mean, looking at the 4-lane construction, I mean, before 2016, it was the Border Roads Organization that was actually taking care of constructing the 4-lane, but after 2016, this responsibility was given to the NHIDCL. Now, when it comes to road making in Nagaland, especially in the northeast, because of our geographical factors, I mean, there are many instances where making roads in the northeast is kind of more difficult than making roads in other parts of India, I mean, like in the northern parts or wherever. So, I mean, after the NHIDCL has come into basically the road construction business around the northeast, in most of the northeastern states, we have seen a lot of organizations, civil society organizations going against the NHIDCL when it comes to reparation of the roads, construction of the roads, safety provisions, and also compensation. But then when you look at other parts of India where NHIDCL officials have faltered, I mean, strict action has been taken. So, I mean, regarding this particular incident, does the fact that officials of the NHIDCL have yet to be questioned by the authorities also mean that authorities are holding to the claims made by the NHIDCL, sir?
Yeah, definitely. I'm quite surprised because we have been discussing earlier too. I'm quite surprised that the Dimapur Division General Manager of the NHIDCL is still holding office. I am not saying that he is responsible right now, because the onus of explaining who was the person at default, who is supposed to be responsible for this, it is for the government and let's say the police it is for them to decide who is wrong. But I think there is a moral ground here, because the NHIDCL is in charge of the highway and you are to take care of this particular stretch of the highway, and now it has claimed life. I think the administration, the establishment of the corporation should at least on moral grounds resign, or if not, I think the government authorities should just intervene in this regard and hold those people accountable for the lapses here, because even in recently just the previous year in Manipur, I think several top officials of the NHIDCL resigned for various reasons. A Bailey Bridge that was just about a year old washing away over the Jaribam Highway, and questions of land acquisition, and for failure to follow establishment protocols and land dispute issues. So there are a lot of things that have happened in the Northeast that I believe the corporation has not been very clear about, especially in the way they function, also the way they take care of the highways that they have been entrusted to take care of. So I think definitely it is about time that the government authorities take into account the actions and the incidents that we have seen, and take responsibility of the situation, and bring those people who are accountable for all that has happened to question. And I think that will also plant a seed of faith in the people, that okay, those people who are taking care of the roads that we are driving on are doing a good job, and we are safe and we feel safe. Otherwise, I think no, what the government so far is not doing is concerning, and what the corporation is claiming is even more concerning. It means that the facts are not yet verified. The facts are not facts but just claims right now, and this is not a very good sign either for Nagaland or the government of Nagaland, and even the corporation itself.
So, I mean, like, coming to the unfortunate July 4th accident, the NHIDCL after the accident did condole the lives lost, and also the NHIDCL decided to send a technical team to inspect the accident rock slide incident site, after which the executive director of the NHIDCL, Mr. Riten Kumar Singh, had said that the cause of the incident was a natural calamity. Then after which he questioned the state government, saying like, where are safety provisions like this in any other highways in Nagaland? And the second thing he questioned is, the government of Nagaland did not provide us any alternative roads. So what is the government of Nagaland doing? Now, with all these accusations coming from the NHIDCL and also the press release given by the Chumoukedima district administration stating that some facts need to be verified, what are some of the actions that the Nagaland government can take to redress the outrage that people and the administration are demonstrating?
Yeah, I think the first thing is to launch an investigation. I think that is very clear, and I think the people who have been affected by it, the families,
yes,
and even the people who will continue to be using the highway, they want this, what went wrong, who is supposed to be in charge of these operations, and who should be held accountable for all this. And I think the first thing for the authorities to do is to launch an official investigation. Second, I think the Dimapur division of the NHIDCL should resign until this matter is clarified. I think that is clear as much for now.
All right, so according to the press release given by the district administration of Chumoukedima, I mean, like, they have been very specific as to the claims made by the NHIDCL regarding its work on this particular stretch, which is between around 124.0500 to about 129. So it's about like a 5-kilometer stretch. So, sir, by releasing the statement in response to the corporation, is the Chumoukedima administration demanding an investigation into the matter, sir?
Yeah, definitely, because at every line of the statement that the administration released was all blames on the corporation itself, and they were demanding that this facts that is being claimed by the corporation should be rechecked, it should be investigated, or they're saying this is not accurate, we were there. For example, right now our conversations is only about the particular site where the rock fell and 2 people were killed. And I think the conversation has revolved around that. But what, for instance, the administration has said is that this was not an isolated incident that should be seen only from the point of view of that particular site of incident. For example, people were stranded there because there was another landslide that was blocking the highway, which forced the traffic there to be stuck there.
Yes.
And during the time the rock fell. So what the administration is saying is that you have to take everything into account. It was not just at a particular site of the accident or just a number of vehicles being here and not there. It was not a landslide at a particular place, but a whole lot of things going on that day when those rocks fell into those people. So I think definitely the administration is following protocol. Some kind of an authority is required to call for investigation. So I think it is just trying to be politically correct, but if you look at the statement, definitely it wants an investigation, because everything that the corporation has claimed so far seems to have been negated by what the administration is saying.
All right, so now very generally, I mean, speaking about the condition of road transport and highways, especially in regard to India and also in Northeast, the Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Nhidcl has been immaculately working to improve road infrastructure in India basically, and he's been like very dedicated towards seeing that, personally seeing that all expressways and highways that are being constructed in India are being done according to protocol. I mean, like if you look at some of the data that has been provided in the year 2014 to 2015, in a year India was able to make roads amounting to 97,830 kilometers. But then in March 2023, the construction of roads reached about 1,45,155 kilometers, which just shows that the government is really keen on boosting the road infrastructure. Now, when we come to Nagaland or when we come to the Northeast, because of its geographical location, the challenges are increased. So don't you think, sir, it's high time for us Nagas, like we want development, but we want development at a very fast pace, where important factors like studying the topographical area, studying the plan, we don't think about the repercussions after it's been developed. So don't you think it's high time that Nagas also start, before any developmental projects, they should also look at the environmental disasters? Don't you think it's high time that Nagas start thinking more towards saving the future when it comes to development, sir?
Yeah, definitely. I think responsible planning is a mantra that has been used by forward communities in the West. For example, when you start planning, especially your towns, the first thing you think about is, the first thing that you go through is whether this is environmentally sustainable, whether it is good for the people and animals and the environment. So I think one of the central elements to development that Nagaland keeps missing out often, I think, is environmental cross-checking. For instance, I believe we have got in our possession a statement of the Nagaland Pollution Board, which had cautioned about landslide and rocks falling on people even just about 2 years ago, 2021, where they had cautioned the NHIDCL that falling rocks are a constant danger to people who take that route, the Dimapur to Kohima highway. So these are issues that keep coming up, and I don't think that, to be fair to the government also, I think we Nagas are very impatient. If you look at the highway, you don't see trees anymore. The level of noise here is higher because we have destroyed all the trees that were standing there since our childhood. There was this big banyan tree at Purana Bazar that people protested should not be cut down, because in the name of development, the authorities wanted the road to be built faster. So they cut down this 100 years old, that's what they estimated, tree. They cut it down, and now see, if you look at the highway, all you see is only heat, all you see is only noise, and all you experience is just a concrete jungle that continues to plague the residents who live near the highway. So it's a very good point. I think the first thing we should check is, but we also have to be patient, the public. We also have to be patient, because these are things that that cannot be decided in a moment. You have to go through a lot of processes. Environmental concerns have to be addressed first. So only after that you start planning. So I'm not really conversant in how they do it, but one thing I'm very sure and I'm very clear about is that before any developmental works should take place, the first thing that engineers take care of is the environmental impact that particular piece of development might have on the people and the community. Akive.
All right. Thank you so much, Al, for joining me on this special newsroom and giving us the details over the controversy between the district administration of Chumoukedima and also the NHIDCL regarding the July 4th accident. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Akive.
Well, on July 4th, there was an unfortunate rock slide in which 2 people lost their lives and 3 were critically injured. And the video that is going viral on the internet shows deadly images where a boulder comes smashing 2 cars. And that video is already going viral. But after the accident is where all this controversy has begun, in which the NHIDCL has claimed that the rock slide that happened on the 4th of July was a natural calamity, in which the NHIDCL executive director too has questioned the state government as to what the state government is doing in providing alternate routes, and also where do you find such safety features in other parts of roads in Nagaland. That's the statement given by the executive director of the NHIDCL, in response to which the Chumoukedima district administration paragraph wise have deferred the statements given by the NHIDCL, in which the district administration, looking at the press release that was received here at HornbillTV, shows that there should be an investigation over the matters and over the allegations that the NHIDCL has put forward.